Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today is part 3 of running a propane line into a post frame building. In the previous videos, I got all this stuff done, got this assembled, got the hole drilled through the building, yada yada yada. Now I have to get my extension onto the valve there, which is all cut and threaded and ready to go. But first, I need to get my girts well, actually I'm going to cut all of the girts. So I have 3 upper girts and then 2 girts right here. And what I'm going to do is install the upper girt, then get the pipe in place. Slide it up behind the upper girt, thread it on, get it all nice and tight, get it attached to that girt. Then I'll put the other 2 girts on. Thing is, I have 3 of these 1-inch straps left, and I'm going to use them on the top 3 girts. 5 straps altogether, and each strap has sandpaper on it. That should be plenty to hold this up. And once I get a little further with it, it's going to be held up on top of that truss as well. So I think that should do it. The first thing I got to do though is get these girts cut. We're expecting rain any time now, so let's get moving on that. Okay, that took a while. I was going through my lumber, my 16-footers, and well, at least the ones on top. I got a bunch over here that I haven't even looked at yet. The ones on top, I got, the first 2 were kind of squirrely. You can see on that one, I believe, that it's got a long bow to it. This one is just completely insane. It's bowed this way, it's bowed this way, it's twisted. This is going back, and normally I would not take lumber back. I'll just cut it down to shorter lengths, but this is just a complete basket case, and this lumber costed so damn much. I'm just going to return it and get some decent lumber for it. But I need to get this done today, so I will cut my shorter piece like this out of this one, and that should be just fine. I'm not going to record the cutting because it is insanely windy out there and the wind's coming directly at the back of the shop here. So let me get this cut and we'll get that top one installed so we can get back onto the propane. Okay, got my girts all cut. Got the one that I'm going to put on first right there on the floor. Now I got to go through a bunch of stuff. The top girt's the hardest one. I got to put all kinds of blocking up there, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'll do that off camera. What I'm thinking, once I get that one on, I'm going to take one of these straps, get the pipe in place, screw it in a thread or 2, get it in place, get it nice and plumb, put that strap on, and that'll hold it while I tighten that up. Tightening it up is going to put a bit of stress on it, and I don't want it flopping around, so that should hold it in place. Once I get it tightened up, I'll take the strap off and put some sandpaper behind it for some grip, and I should be good to go. I'm going to quick get this girt in, and we'll get going on that. Okay, I got the top girt in. Now it's time to get some propane rated Teflon tape on the end of this pipe. Okay, you need at least 3 layers or 3 turns of this stuff on there, and you put it on so that when you're tightening it, it goes against the end of the tape so the tape doesn't bunch up. So it kind of combs it the other way. Okay, that's 1. 2. And 3. And 1 more for good measure. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna go put that bracket up top. All right, let me show you this before I tighten this up. Got this nice and plumb, but get way up here. All I did was put one screw on a bracket just to keep this from flopping around. Once I get that all tightened up down there, I'm going to take that off and, like I said, put some sandpaper on it. But right now, it's nice and steady where it is. And I can tighten up this joint down here. All right. What I need to do here is keep this valve stationary. This does not need any more tightening, and it needs to be oriented the way it is because there's going to be an access door right here to get at it. So I got to hold this nice and still. Hopefully my big pipe wrench, it is not. Get that adjusted. Now this has got to be really tight, so this is going to be a bit of work. And when it starts to get nice and tight, I got to watch out up above and make sure that I end up with my fitting up there pointing in the right direction. And it's almost there. All right, this will be the final tightening. All right, with that pipe at roughly 45 degrees, I got to go up there and check the angle with my speed square. All right, so all I got to do is put my speed square up against the truss and then look down on it. I can't really see what I'm doing, but it is off. It needs to come this way, be tightened a little more. Leave this up here, go tighten that another little bit, and then check it again. And I'll keep doing that until it's 45 degrees, because the next fitting that goes on there is 45. And I want that to go straight over to the next truss over here. So really needs to be 45. All right, it's now at 45 degrees, exactly where it needs to be. I could take that pipe out now, and I got to run a test on this. I'm going to put a Schrader valve in there, pump this up to like 30 pounds, and then check all the joints in here for leaks. Then I can cover this up. It's been 2 weeks since I made that last clip. It's raining like crazy out. I had a lot of stuff go on and I couldn't film any of this for a while, but I'm back on it today. So my original plan was to just use this 4-foot section, and wherever it came out, that's where I would put a brace going across from here to the next truss. But then I was thinking, I'm going to have to put that brace all the way to the end so that I can run the pipe to the far end over there. And my joist is going to go right in here somewhere. So why not just take this back and get a 5-foot piece and make it right on top of the joist here. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to get the joist in here, and then I'm going to replace this with the 5-foot piece and get it cut to length and get everything tightened up. But I'm not going to be doing all that stuff today. What I hope to get done on the rest of this video, because this video is already getting kind of long, is get this one joist in here so I can get the measurements I need, get my pipe cut and threaded, get the pipe installed with this elbow on. Then I have a short nipple that I'll put on that.
Then I can put my tester on that and test all this stuff to see if it has any leaks. And if it doesn't, I can start filling this opening and putting these girts in. I'm not sure how much of that's going to be on this video. This video is already starting to get long, so at some point I'm just going to end this video and then we'll continue with this in another video at another time. So let's get started by getting this joist in and figure out how long the pipe needs to be. All right, when I was putting in these joist hangers, I needed to get the joist cut right after that, and it was still raining, so I put in the joist hangers all the way across, and it just stopped raining maybe 20 minutes ago, so I got the saw out there, got that stuff cut. Those two are just dropped in place. This one is nailed in place, and I took out that 4-foot section of pipe and put in, well, let me bring this with me. Where is that? Here it is. I put in the 5-foot section and I got kind of a surprise. Now on that end, it's just like one thread into there, and it's gonna go about an inch that way. So that's looking like it's gonna come right over this. It's gonna come close enough either way. So I'm just gonna leave it the length it is. I'm gonna take it across the street, put it in the vise, and get this on. Then I'll bring it back here and get that side fastened on. And then I have one more piece that's gotta go on there, a short little nipple. Then I can put the test gauge on it. All right, I'm kind of rushing through this because I'm still a little bit sick and I need to go get some rest. All right, I took this across the street and I got this 45-degree elbow put on real nice and tight. Then I brought it back here and got it tightened into that elbow. That's that reducing elbow there. Then I put my gauge on. What I'm going to do is pump this up to about 6 pounds of pressure and then let this sit overnight and see what happens, see if I got any leaks. If it doesn't show any leaks, I'm going to put a little more pressure in it and I'm going to check all the joints with soap. And once that's done, if there's no leaks, then I can get them last 3 girts in and get this thing really nice and tight strapped down. Then I can get this insulated. One heck of a process, but really needs to be done. One thing to note with these pressure gauges, they're pretty low pressure, so if your compressor is set to like 120 like this was, you might want to turn it down. I have this set to 40 psi. All right, I'm going to hook this up to it and put 6 pounds in there, see what happens. All right, this is kind of clumsy, but it beats putting it on my head. All right, we'll go by this gauge to start with. Hooked up right. There we go. We'll watch it on this one. It's not gonna focus very well. Okay, we're right at 7. I think I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, it is right at 6. I gotta go find the cap for that, and we'll wait until tomorrow and see what it says then. Okay, we are still at 6 pounds, and that can actually vary depending on the weather. So if it's cold tonight, that's going to go down just from the cold, but I'm going to check this in about an hour. If it's still at 6 pounds, I am pretty darn sure that it's not leaking. And like I said, I'll test this with a little bit more pressure and soap and water on all the joints tomorrow. I have eye surgery tomorrow morning, So I'm going to have to make sure I come out and check that thing first thing in the morning before we leave for that. And then I'll let you know the results, and you'll see all the rest of this in the next video. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.